All right, let's clap it up. All right, Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, since 1969, under the Commander General Hana. I'm Priest and Officer Nayat, and tonight is a Tuesday night Brotherhood class. We're going to go over a few scriptures tonight. It's talking about our people, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child, right? We are a stiff-necked people, and we've refused to be God's chosen people. It's like we don't want to be a special people. We want to be equal to all these other nations that don't love us, but yet we try to love them, on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? And they clearly show that they don't love us at all. But as the scripture says, we are a stiff-necked people. We don't want to listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments, like the Bible states. You know what I'm saying? We got the Christian church, Catholic church tell us that the laws are done away with, and we're going to go with that. That's what we go with, because the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked, as the Bible states. And it's it's a sad thing, man. Here it is. We got we fit all these curses that are in this Bible right here. And we got our own people saying that, oh, the white man wrote this book. Well, if the white man wrote this book, then they will have a description of that blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus that every, Black and Latino family have in their household, that believe in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Yahushua Mashiach, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. But, we're going to get into some scriptures tonight. Go into this book. Who, like I said, some people, our own people say, that the white man wrote this book. The only reason why they say that is because they don't want to do right. They don't want to be righteous. That's the only reason why they say something like that, man. They want to continue in this wickedness. Bottom line. That's it. But, so go ahead and get started. Starting Exodus 33 with the stiff-necked people. Exodus 33 and 5. And it reads, "For the Lord has said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people." That's what, and we are the children of Israel. Like I said, we fit these curses right here, right out of the book. No one else fit these curses right here, man. It said Judah, the so-called black man, will discontinue from his heritage. How is it that you got the Jewish man, the white man, you know what I'm saying, claiming to be from the tribe of Judah? It said you're going to lose your heritage. You're going to forget who you are. You're going to go into captivity in ships. When did the Jewish man go into captivity in ships? It didn't say that one day they will be set back in the land. It said we will see it no more. Judah will not see it no more. Israel will not see it anymore. That land where they came from, you know what I'm saying? They took us far away from our borders. It don't say that Judah's gonna end up running the Diamond District, running Hollywood, the entertainment business. It does not say that. It tells us that we're gonna be redeemed by our Savior, Yahushua Mashiach, Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says. It didn't say that the Jewish people, you know what I'm saying, they gonna basically, they have, over there in Israel, they got, the United States fight for them. You know what I'm saying? They fight for them. Give them billions of dollars annually when these fools own Hollywood. That's going against the scriptures, man. It says Judah will discontinue from thine heritage, right? Let's read it again. Because Israel's a stiff-necked people, they're gonna have to listen to hear it again. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 5. For the Lord has said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. So-called black, so-called Latino, so-called native, we are a stiff-necked people. It's clear, man. We don't want to listen to nobody except for our oppressor. That's who we listen to. That's who we follow. But we love to hate one another. But let's keep reading. A stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. And that's exactly what he did. He consumed us. How did he consume us? He discontinued us from our heritage. We're the only ones in this world that don't know who we are. We call ourselves African American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, Jamaican. Where did all those terms come from, man? Where did all those names come from? Ask yourself that. Who gave you those names right there? We know African American was by Jesse Jackson in 1988. You know what I'm saying? Who were you before that? You weren't a colored man. You weren't an Afro American. You weren't a what they say. What other names they give us? Negro. Negro just mean what? Negro, color. Saying black in Spanish. That's all it means. And that's in a European tongue as well, Spanish. What were you before this? Before you were conquered? What were the so-called Mexicans before they were conquered? And they know they know the history. They were conquered by the conquistadors, the so-called Puerto Ricans, so-called Dominicans. They were all conquered by the conquistadors. You know what I'm saying? Taken in the ships. Just like Judah was taken in the ships. We were all taken in the ships. What other nation do you know that were taken in the ships and got their tongue stripped from them and speaking another people's language? English isn't our language. Spanish isn't our language. And these are both from so-called Europeans, Edomites. That's where that language derives from. But we so wicked, it's like, why? We want to smoke weed. That's why we're content for, being in this state that we're in, the plight that we're in, because we want to continue on smoking weed and thinking, what I'm saying, people going to feel sorry for you or whatever, on these drugs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We want to continue on eating unclean foods. We'd rather be oppressed, man, just so we can eat a slab of pork, slab of ribs and stuff like that. Like Evan, yeah, man, I ain't tripping off getting, our people getting killed in the streets. Just put some of them pork chops on that grill, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me some of that weed. I mean, we want to look cool and rock Jesus pieces and crosses. You know what I'm saying? Like this, we want to look cool like that. The cross don't have anything to do with Christ, man, but with the Romans, you know what I'm saying, crucified him on it. Ain't got nothing to do with him, man. That cross been doing that way before Christ, man. That cross represents defeat. That's what it represents. They've been doing that. If it was strictly for Christ and Christ, and that cross belonged to Christ, man, the other two men wouldn't be right there by his side. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, we walk around like yeah, you know, you a upright Christian or something like that. You know, this really means something to me. You know, no, you would destroy for a lack of knowledge, as the Bible states. You know, but you know, let's read it one more time, man. Exodus 33:5. For the Lord has said unto Moses, say unto the children of Israel, ye are a stiff-necked people. We are a stiff-necked people, so-called Black, Latino, and natives. We are a stiff-necked people, man. And that's why we are in the condition that we're in now. And all these other nations, man, they could come over, these Johnny-come-latelys, come over here after we built this country. We built this country for the white man, man. We put them on a pedestal, you know what I'm saying, above all other nations. And we have nothing to show for it, man. They bring these other nations over here, man, you know, so they can be above us. And we are beneath. And we are helping them dig a deeper ditch. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know, they'll literally tell you in your face, hey, man, we ain't helping you dig this ditch. Go ahead, keep digging it by yourself. You're doing a good job, because we are. We live in this, we want to live a alternative lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And we justify every reason why we should, you know, we should live like this or what have you, you know. But you know, and this is, you know, and once again, like I said, you know, our people are quick to say that this is a white man's book. Well, nigga, I mean, these curses fit us to the T. So therefore, you saying the white man is just like he a genius, huh? He just know everything about you, like he, you know, knew you were gonna go into captivity. You know what I'm saying? Before it even happened. Because these scriptures right here were written before we went into captivity in ships. You will go into Egypt again in ships. Deuteronomy 28:68. The white man is just a pure genius, isn't he? He's psychic. You know, our people love that stuff too, man. They like psychic. Go get their palms read and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to stay at the bottom of the barrel, man. If you keep it up, you don't want to come into these law, you know, listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, come into the ISUPK and learn the righteous way. But we love to do wicked. You know, that's the Black, Latino, and Native. We love to do wicked. And that's why we are being cursed. That's why we are being chastised. That's why the Most High is whooping our tails, man, and putting these other people that ain't nothing. And look, you know they ain't nothing because they steady thinking about you when you ain't got nothing. like you know what I'm saying? Like we are our own we put ourselves in a situation where we're at our own demise, whatever, you know, so to speak, what have you. You know what I'm saying? And literally, this is what we do. This is what we do. You know, when will they be tired of saying, oh, the usual suspects? Like, nigga, yeah, okay, usual suspect, nigga, why do you fucking care? Slocky. Let them keep on digging their ditch and go on about your business and enjoy your heaven. That's how you know you God's chosen people, Israel, so-called Black, Latino, Native, because they steady on you, even though you our kids are they gone, just gone, man. There ain't nobody here to uplift our kids, man, out here in these streets, man, out here in this in our communities. The Christian church failed. Why? Because they leading our people straight anyways. They working for the government. Catholic Church failed them. Why? Because they want to just fondle your kids. Literally. I mean, shit, I ain't making it up. It's already, it already been busted out. But yeah, you got Latinos, you got blacks still sending their kids to Catholic. Oh, it won't happen to my kid. Nigga, maybe you want it to happen to your kid because it happened to you. Maybe that's the problem. Because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We got that bad case of Stockholm syndrome. Speaking of discontinue, let's go to Jeremiah 17. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I could read these scriptures all day and they'd be like, oh, that ain't us. That's written to Israel. Those white people over there, those Jewish people. Nigga, this was written to you. This is written about you. These are your records right here. This is your history right here. So-called Black, Latino, and Native. I mean, you want to continue on being crucified, man, being tortured, being oppressed, you know what I'm saying? Being unalive in these streets, man, and unaliving one another. Because you mad. You mad at who? At yourself, at your own people. Why? Because you drinking the cup of the cup that the Most High gave you, man, because you don't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? He gave you a cup of wrath, of fury to drink. And that's what you drinking. But he said he's going to take it away from us, man, and give it to these heathens, man. Give it to these other nations. I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's happening, but it's not happening the way we drinking the shit. We still drinking the dregs of the cup. But Jeremiah 17. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. Hold on, slugging. Okay. Yeah, Jeremiah 17 and 4. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. I mean, it's clear. You know what I'm saying? We are serving our enemies. That's for sure. We've been serving our enemies over here in this world, in this new world. Yeah. This on this continent over here called America. We've been serving our enemies. They sure in the hell isn't our friends. And I'm talking about the masses, man. I'm not talking about your individual friendship that you have with a so-called white person. You know what I'm saying? Individual friendship that you have with a so-called Asian, East Indian, or whatever. We got to wake up, man, and got to understand that and that's what's dumbing you down. Just because you have a friend, so you continue, you cool with, you know what I'm saying, them unaliving us in the streets, and only us. Wait, they sold it to you. They said, oh, the reason why they getting unalived because we do crime. You know what I'm saying? That he got unalived because he ran out of the store. With a bottle of water. That does not give anybody a green light to unalive them, man, for a bottle of water, man. Or for anything, for that matter. It says, thou shalt not kill. Bottom line. But this is what they do to us, man. 24/7 out in these streets, man. It's being done right now. And we ain't gonna hear about it until like, 4 years from now. We gonna hear about the case. That's what they do too, man. For some reason, we don't hear about it the same day, the next day, or whatever. The week, the end of the week, we hear about 3 years later. We hear about these treacherous acts that these people do to us. I can't, see myself, what I'm saying, like being in the world, even in the world, what I'm saying, like if let's say if I never knew the truth, if I never came into the truth, didn't know nothing about it. If I'm running a convenience store, man, and a little Asian kid, little East Indian or whatever, what I'm saying, teenager, nigga, even an adult, shit, fuck it. It's like I'm not about to chase this nigga down and shoot him in the back. I'm just not. I'm just not. Just for a bottle of water. Judah, especially Judah, what I'm saying, other tribes, we so creative, we so, we charismatic, people, right? Shit, especially in my prime, when I have my wheels, shit, I would have chased them down, what I'm saying, got the bottle of water and poured it on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did some shit like that. Why do you have to murder this person over a bottle of water? Why do you have to shoot a woman, a little girl, teenager in the head for some orange juice? That's what these Asians do to us, to Black people, to Latino people. This is what they do, man. Why do they feel they have to do things like this? Huh, Israel, you so-called Black, Latino, Native? They only do it to us. When's the last time have you heard of even an Arab shit? You know what I'm saying? The niggas that, what I'm saying, the people that ran into the World Trade Center. When have you heard of a little dude, what I'm saying, a teenager running down the street, what I'm saying, getting clapped, what I'm saying, in the back, or what have you? Oh, they just so upright, aren't they? You know what I'm saying? But they learn how to fly a plane and run into that World Trade, though. Now, I guess they on a higher scale of crime. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff, man. Let's read it again, man. This is a book of Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. That's what he told you, Black man, Latino man, Native man, and woman. You're going to discontinue from your heritage. You're going to forget who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Another people took our identity, calling themselves Jews, man. When it says they are the synagogue of Satan. For the longest time over here, we didn't call ourselves Jews. We didn't know we were from the tribe of Judah. But here it is. These people are identity thieves, man. That's who they are. They're imposters. That's what they are, man. Let's go to Revelations 29. It's like Revelations 2. Say 29. It's lucky for my dyslexia. Revelations 29, 2 and 9. And it reads, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy which of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Who, I mean, it said, who else goes through the trouble that we go through? The tribulations, the trials and errors, the trials and tribulations that we go through. Who else goes through the things that we go through? What other nation? Point them out. You know what I'm saying? Who worked harder? You know what I'm saying? Who worked harder than the so-called Black, Latino, and natives in this world, in this country? Who? It says, I know the works and tribulations and poverty. Who else in this country is in poverty more than the so-called Black, Latino, and native? Point them out. But it said, what it say? But thou art rich. We are rich in spirit, man. We are rich because we are God's chosen people. Bottom line, man. You know what I'm saying? We are rich. And I know the blasphemy. These people blaspheme the Most High, man, when they say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. That's who those people are, man. They're imposters, man. Ain't nobody else work harder than us, man. It says, I know thy works. What kind of works did the Jewish man put in, man? What? They spent 12 years in the concentration camps under Germany for being persecuted and tortured and stuff like that by their brethren. Not another nation, by their brethren. Do they not both call themselves Caucasian from the Caucasus Mountains? Come on, man. It's not rocket science. But like I said, they what you call it? Identity thieves. That's what they are. And they've been programming us, from day one, with the television and what have you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got, there was a movie back in 1959, 1959, okay, called Solomon and Sheba. And we know who King Solomon is. He's from the tribe of Judah, right? So-called black man. And then we know Queen Sheba, supposedly Ethiopian. We all know Ethiopians are black. The melanated people. Here it is in 1959, this movie right here. These devils, and because they're deceivers, that's what devil mean. The white man is the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speak of. These deceivers. I mean, where was the Ethiopians at back then, man? Back in 1959, they couldn't play this role because the white man played both the Ethiopian and the Judah king, from Judah. They played both of those, man, but they were programming. That's what it was all about. They were programming. But for real, what happened to the Ethiopians? They couldn't play that role back then. They flourishing nice over here now. What I'm saying? They got their little communities over here now. They couldn't do. What were they at in 1959? Really? But that's the devil for you, man. They got to put on a movie and say, hey, we're going to play both. We're going to play both. We're going to play the Ethiopian and we're going to play the children of Israel. That's how diabolical they are, man, because they like the programming. And a lot of our people fall for it, man. You know, talking about Queen of Sheba had a son with King Solomon. That's how they became. Now you got Ethiopian Jews. You know, saying in the book of Zephaniah 2:12, it says, "You Ethiopians all shall be slain with my sword." That's what the Most High said. And y'all claim y'all Jews. Crazy. Right. Let's go to let's see where we at. Let's go to Isaiah 58. But we gotta wake up, Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the reason why some of us don't want to wake up and want to stay asleep, they turn their ear from hearing the law. They'd rather be lied to, as the scripture says, right? Because we want to be wicked. We want to be evil. We want to get on drugs and whatever, and have people feel sorry for us and stuff like that or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Try to take your mind away from reality, so to speak, right? And do all this stuff. But but the Most High left a remnant, man. You know what I'm saying? For us to, to come, every Saturday, man, we out here teaching our people, man. Try to wake them up, man, from this deep sleep that they're in, man, being zombies, trying to put that flesh back on them. You know what I'm saying? Like it says in Jeremiah, because they walking around zombies, they just bones and stuff like that. They need that flesh, man. That flesh, that word. They need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's what we doing. We out here crying out and sparing not, man. And it be our people, man. It be our people, man, out there, going against us about what we saying. Because they uncomfortable. They wanna hug the white man. They want to hug the white woman and stuff like that. See, this is all love. That white man and white woman say, "You guys are stupid." No other nation will embrace their enemy like Judah, like the so-called black man, like Issachar, the so-called Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like Gad, the so-called Native American. The way we do, man, the way Latinos do, man. We embrace our oppressor, man. We love our oppressor. That's what we do, man. We love him. Let's read Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. And it reads, "Cry out loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins." Jacob is the father of Israel. His name was transferred to Israel, and he had 12 sons. So-called black and Latino and natives. We make up the tribes of Israel. And we, he said, cry out loud and spare not, and show you guys your transgression. You got to get up out of this place, man. Stop trying to be like your oppressor, man. Stop trying to be like your enemy, man. Because it's not working. It hasn't been working. It's never worked for us. The craziest thing I ever heard, not ever heard, but for somebody personally, I know, what I'm saying, like, I'm saying the way I was saying, I'm being facetious, saying, make America great again, and they agree, yeah, make America great again. Like, they didn't even. I mean, I know I didn't say it like that, what I'm saying. I was being sarcastic when I said it, but I had to ask them, when has America ever been great for you, man? When? And I was raised in the 80s, the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I was living cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no complaints. I mean, yeah, shit, nigga didn't eat sometimes at night, you know what I'm saying, with the sleep, with an empty stomach. Oh, well, you know what I'm saying? But shit, I ain't like these rappers and shit like that. Man, it was 10 of us. We had one bed, you know what I'm saying, one pillow for our head, you know what I'm saying, some stupid shit, crying and shit all day. Niggas got millions of money. Nigga, shut the fuck up. It's lucky. But man, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But we are the people, man. But our people don't want to believe that. They want to believe that we're base. We're low. We are nothing. Because why? Because the white man had taught us that, had drilled that into our heads, drilled it into our brains, man. And that's how we feel. And we quick to unalive each other, man. Quick. Because they had we suffer from Stockholm syndrome, like I said. They had what did it say, crafty counsel against thy people. Really crafty, man. They destroyed us mentally. Let's go to Isaiah 1. We finish that. Yeah, let's go to Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah chapter 1 and 4. Slide. 1. Yeah, starting at 4. Shoot. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. I mean, let me keep going. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. And that's the thing, man. We are sick from what? Stockholm syndrome. That's what we're sick from, man. We don't notice who the enemy is, man. Who's been against us in this country, man. And I ain't telling you to go out there and go out there and be angry every day, all day, and stuff at the white. That's not what we're saying, man. Though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge, man. You have to have knowledge, man. Of course, we had to conduct ourselves in an orderly fashion. We got to work with these people. And nobody tell you to don't talk to this fool or that fool, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not your tribes. You can still talk to them. Be buddy if you want. But know who you are, man. Know who your people are, man. You know what I'm saying? We are completely two different people. We are not like them. And you know it when you walk into a room, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's, them, let's say it's more of you, your people, than them. There's an elephant in the room. It's more of their people or you in the room. There's an elephant in the room. It's always been like that. Always. That tells you right there, there's a difference. We are not the same. Guys all uncomfortable and stuff like that, man. And then somebody go out their way to make you, make you feel comfortable. Or you go out your way to make them feel comfortable. That's how you know. You guys are not the same, man. You're cut from a different cloth, man. We are God's chosen people, so-called Black, Latino, and Native. That's who we are. And let's get up. Let's start at 5 again. Why shall ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. The whole heart is faint. The children of Israel heart is faint, man. This heart is weak. Our heart is weak, man. We are a weak people. We are ashamed of who we are. No matter how much time, how many times y'all go out there and do your little celebrate your little Juneteenth, you know what I'm saying, Cinco de Mayo's, what have you, man. You still are you still ashamed, man, for who you are, man. Because you look up to your oppressor, man. Can't sit there and tell him, hey, we know you the devil that the Bible speak of. Because if you could, you'll be up in here in the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. And raising your people up, bold as a lion. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, our people, we suffer from Stockholm syndrome, man. We are weak people. We're a base people, man. Our heart is faint, as the scripture says right here. We are a sinful nation, man. We are a seed of evildoers. We love to do evil. And we love to do evil towards one another. I'm not telling you, I don't condone going out there harming anybody, any other race, man. That's not we up what ICPK represent, man. You can't harm none. Vengeance is of the Most High. Let's make that clear. You know what I'm saying? So we do not condone that. We are waiting patiently for the Most High to send Yahushua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, come down here with the sword, as it states in the Bible, to put everything in order. Let's go to Isaiah 24. Because this is and this is why we're in this state. And like I said, this Bible was written way before we came over here into Americas, right? What it says, Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Who taught you Christianity? Black man, Latino man, Native man, and woman. Who taught you Catholicism? You know what I'm saying? These are the and these what do you call them? These religious damn, let's slip my mind. But these religious businesses, let's call them businesses, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that destroy the laws. They said these laws are done away with. You know what I'm saying? That's why this world is defiled. The land cries. These animals are crying, man. it says in the Bible, man, that the animals will even be happy when the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man, you know what I'm saying, not the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man that is the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, that even the animals will rejoice because they unalive the animals for fun, just to get that kill, man. You know, even the animals will be able to breathe, man, and relax. You know, but the Christian church and Catholic church, they told you, you know what I'm saying, because they're on every single corner in the hood. They told you that the laws are done away with. When Christ says something completely different, you know. But can we you know, it's clear that we can see that this earth is defiled. You know, it's corrupted, man. This place is backwards and upside down. And for, you know, our kids, it's crazy how, you know, the majority of our kids, man, this is normal. Well, shit, you know, to, you know, people, to, I mean, to, you know, adults, this way of life is normal. I mean, for, you know, 20s, 30s, whatever, man, this is normal. That's the scary thing about it, man. I'm stuck in a twilight zone up in this camp. We need Christ to come back, man, and get order up in here, man, because this place is straight wicked, man. And our people love to join this wickedness, man. But y'all gonna be running and to and fro, man, running all over the place, man. When you see that sky crack in the sky, oh, oh, it's real now. Like, you know, crazy. Let's go to Jeremiah. You know, since we, you know, talking about these pastors, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Christians, you know, pastors, these Catholic priests, so-called priests, you know, so-called pastors, you know what I'm saying? They lead us astray, man. They ain't for our people, man. They're not for Israel, and they targeting Israel. That's what they target. They target us, man, in these neighborhoods, in these hoods. That's why we got them Christian and Catholic churches on every corner in our neighborhoods, man. You know? And let's go to Jeremiah 23. See what it says about these wicked pastors. Jeremiah 23, starting at 1. Jeremiah 23, verse 1. And it reads, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord." Verse 2. "Therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord." Verse 3. "And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase." This is what he's saying about the children of Israel. He's not saying this about everybody else, man. Verse 4. "And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord." Who's going to feed us? He don't feed us no food, man. He's going to feed us this knowledge. This is what we need. We need knowledge of self, man. Did not state in Hosea 4 and 6, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge"? And who taught us, you know, Christianity? Who taught us Catholicism? because it's not working for us. It never has worked for us. Never. All these people that's been in, when the Crips and Bloods, man, in the late 70s, 80s, when the real Crips and Bloods, man, not these little, the little rinky dinks, what I'm saying? These little, what I'm saying? Like, and I don't condone that either, man, but stop trying to be, Crips, man. Y'all, that was your uncle's time, man, your father's time, man. Stop trying to, be something you not. Trying to act hard, man. You got these niggas talking about Bloods and stuff like that and wearing all blue. Hey, blood, nigga, if a Blood saw you back in the 80s, man, and saw you wearing that stuff, it's a rap. Over here faking it, man. Acting like you hard and stuff like that, man. Our brothers and sisters lost their lives for this shit, man. For some dumb shit. Because they were mad at the world, man, mad at themselves, man, mad at their mother, father, what have you. Mad at this system. Tried to do right, but the system was against them, man. You know what I'm saying? But back to, with the mothers, you know what I'm saying, burying their sons, man, burying their daughters, man. You know what I'm saying? In the church, in the churches, having their funeral and stuff like that, praying and stuff like that. They all these gangsters come from Christian backgrounds, man. So that this Christian church ain't doing something. They ain't doing something right because God ain't listening to their prayers. He didn't answer their prayers. But because we got hundreds, thousands of our kids, man, that died in the 80s, man, from Crips and Bloods and the 90s. That's how you know this Christian church, this Catholicism is fake, man. Even with the Latinos, man, with the Norteños and Sureños, man. We all claim, God, Christ, we love God. You know what I'm saying? Get smacked up out here in these streets, man. It's because you don't want to listen to the law, statutes, and commandments. You don't want to listen to the Most High, man. He said, come out of her, my people. Come out of these Catholic churches, man. These Christian churches, man. They're not doing nothing for you, man, but taking your money while you living check to check. For real. These pastors, hold on, I'll read the whole thing. These pastors, man. These pastors, you know what I'm saying? They teach that God loves everybody. We gonna all come together, sing kumbaya, what have you. If that's the case, man, why are we the only one being smacked up beside our head, man? Being unalived by these police, being unalived by these wicked ass people out here, man, these Asians and stuff like that. Tracking our people down, man, running them down, chasing them down, shooting them in the back. Why is this only happening to our people? We got to answer that. Got to start thinking, Israel. So-called Black, Latino, Native. Get up out of these Christian churches, man. They're not teaching you nothing. They're leading you astray. That's their job. But like I said, it says, woe to these pastors, right? Woe means destruction. Destruction to these pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Because that's all they do, man. They are not for us. They are for themselves. We sit up there and we watch it on TV all the time, movies, being entertained, when we laugh at it, when we see the preacher acting like a pimp or what have you, getting in a Cadillac. Now they're getting their Rolls Royces and stuff like that. What is it? The G something jet, you know what I'm saying? $300 million jet, what have you. living lavish, and yet we got homeless. You know what I'm saying? Running rapping over here with our people. These pork chop pastors can't take care of us, man. They can't feed the poor, man. Can't give us housing with all this money that they got. These mega churches. Yeah. You know. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 11. Proverbs chapter 11 and 21, man. Because this is what they taught you right here. This is their main, this is how they lead you astray. This is one of the ways they lead you astray, man. This is a smoke screen. This is especially with Martin Luther King, man. Joining hands and stuff like that. Little boys and little black girl, little boy, little white boy, all that stupid shit. We had a cat passing out flyers, man, last week talking about oh, hey brother, I know what y'all doing, man, and everything like that. And we you know what we gotta do? We gotta walk. We gotta march. Nigga, what has walking? We in 2026, man. I'm gonna say that. They've been walking for how long? Since Martin Luther King and stuff like that. That's far back. I could go about it. You know what I'm saying? My history, whatever. Walking. Got the Million Man Walk March, whatever, with Farrakhan. What has that did for us, man? Done for us? Hasn't done anything. Walking. What the hell you gonna walk for? What you walking for? Get out on these corners, man, and cry out loud and spare not. To tell your people who the enemy is. That's what you need to do. But see, it's easy to walk. Hold up signs and stuff like that. Walk. That's easy. You got your little megaphone, whatever, and saying your little chants, rhyming and stuff like that. We shall overcome, whatever. Come into the ISUPK, man, and get on these corners, man, and speak to your people, man. Wake your people up like that. So that's how you're gonna stir up the white man, stir up this government. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you out here talking about them, pointing out the atrocities that they've done to our people. But you want to walk, And then when you do walk, you know what happens? It's one big melting pot. You got the whites, you got the blacks, you got the, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we all want to hold hands, all join hands and stuff like that. But they ain't getting nothing alive in these streets like you. It'll be a day when you see a bunch of fucking white people slug you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just out of nowhere. And it just shocks the world because there's no blacks, no Latinos, and nothing like that. And they marching for us. Like, that would never happen, though. That would never happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Black Lives Matter, that turned into an LGBT, you know what I'm saying, movement. And them two female alternative lifestyle elbows, you know what I'm saying, took the money and ran, did whatever they did with that money. It's like, man, it's all a joke, man. Everything that these so-called organizations do, man, they come together and stop crime and stuff like that, to come together, it's all a joke, man. That's all it is. But listen what Proverbs 11:21 says. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. It's plain and simple, man. I mean, did we not all go into captivity the children of Israel? Are you going to sit up there and say all children of Israel were wicked? Nah, man, there were some upright people. You know what I'm saying? Righteous people amongst the, the people that, did wicked and everything like that. He put us all into captivity. So therefore, hey, he that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. The faith and the patience of the saints. Paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and join hand in hand with these heathens, man. They still gonna go into captivity. They still gonna be punished. You know what I'm saying? But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Israel shall be delivered, man. Ones that are living righteous, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it states in the you keep doing this wicked and stuff like that. It said you be I'm paraphrasing. It says the ones that are I forgot where it is. Those that sleep in the earth. Hold on. This is Daniel. Let me see. Let's go to the book of Daniel. Those that sleep in the dust of the earth. Something like that. The book of Daniel 12 and 2. That's what it is. Book of Daniel 12 and 2. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. That's what it says, man. Your spirit, your soul is gonna wake up. He gonna wake you up out of your sleep, man. And you're gonna live in. If you don't live righteous, if you Israel, if you don't live righteous, man, you're gonna wake up to everlasting contempt, man. Everlasting disgust. Because we live again. That's regeneration, man. We recycle, regeneration, we come back. We don't die and go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? We come right back here, man. And depending on how you lived, you know what I'm saying? If you live wrong, if you live, you didn't want to listen the first time, you're going to come back worse again. You're going to be base again. You're going to be an everlasting. He said and when this is when this is a done deal, when we are raised up from the dead. You know what I'm saying? You're going to come back to everlasting contempt. And the ones that are being righteous, they're going to be everlasting life. Not living forever, but you're going to, you know how you say, what's that figure of speech? You know what I'm saying? Oh, that nigga living well. He living big. You're going to live nice. You're going to live a long life, man. You're going to see your grandchildren, grands, what have you. Because this is not living the way we live it today, man. We'd be lucky to make 25. So we think about, man, as teens, man, so-called Black, Latino, and Native, man. You know what I'm saying? When we going to die? That's what we think about. We going to make it to 25. That is not living, man. And we have to look over our shoulders. As long as we be here, we look over our shoulders, man. It's not living. We surviving, man. We trying to survive here. Let's see. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 12. Let's see. Ecclesiastes 12:10. And it reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Look at all the treacherous things, man, that the so-called white man done to our people. And you gonna sit up here and say this is our friend, man? What they're doing to us now. They systematically destroyed our people. Intentionally. You gonna sit here and call them a friend? This whole this government our friend, man? These are our enemies, homie. The ones that, hey, minding your own business, they don't want no part of this, man. Hey, shalom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still going into captivity, you still won't serve. Because it is what it is, man. It's in these scriptures right here. We can't do nothing about that. The ones out there intentionally still trying to destroy us, still trying to unalive us because of their perpetual hate towards our people. Then all you other nations, man, all you other heathens, all you Asians and East Indians, man, y'all want to hand it, y'all want to join the white man, you know what I'm saying, with our demise, oppress us as well. I suggest you freaking mind your own business, man, and enjoy your heaven. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should do. But nah, we steady on y'all mind, man. Steady on y'all mind. Let's see. I'll read the whole thing. Yeah, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. White man always gonna be wicked, man. He always gonna be against you, black, Latino, and Native. Always. They even make their own movies, man, and show that shit to you. They show it to you, man, in the movies. But you just look at it, oh, it's just entertainment. It's a good movie. Like, they sit there alive, man. Like, these niggas gonna watch this shit. We gonna make some money off of, And the majority of our people, we suffer, man. We suffer from I said it earlier, what's that, Stockholm syndrome, man. We suffer from it, We love our captives. We love the oppressor. We love to be oppressed, man. But we gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake up, Israel. Bottom line. I mean, it's winding down, man. It's high time, man, for us to get up in this ISUPK, man, and up in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's high time, man, because we ain't learning nothing in them Christian churches. Not learning anything, man. You going there for entertainment, laugh at jokes and singing and stuff like that. That's what you going for. Unless you're a vile individual and you going for something else. You're a predator. You going for something else. She sure in the hell ain't learning the truth in there, man. You ain't learning this knowledge right here, man. Let's go to Psalms 55. Because like I said, what? Psalm 55, man. As I said, what I just say, trust not thine enemy. Saying never trust thine enemy. And because this enemy right here, this vile beast, the so-called white man, You know what I'm saying? This is him right here, man. This is him right here, man. And this is how and he led a lot of us astray, man. And this is why we still stuck in the Stockholm syndrome, because his words are smoother than butter, man, as it reads right here in this book right here, man. This is Psalms 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. You know, but war was in his heart. And I look at it like this too. You know what I'm saying? Like, our grandmas, mamas, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They watch because remember I said, with TV, they program us. This is what they do. They program us, right? They watch Little House on the Prairie and shit, our people, our grandmas and stuff like that. And watch how the main character, I forgot his name, is talk all soft and stuff like that, and have all the words of wisdom. That's how they program you too, man, with that smoother than butter. Their words are smooth as butter. This is how they get you, man. They portray as if they just the nicest people ever, man. Here it is. It's some people that unalive they own kind, man, for nothing before they came over here. When the so-called slavery was abolished, the serial killing, it went up. It went up, man, because they didn't have no more slaves to kill. They started turning against each other again, killing each other. Even then, they would, man, how many of them motherfuckers was it was so easy to unalive their own kind and to blame it on the black man. Like, for real. This is what they did, man. Treacherous motherfuckers, man. Vile beasts. That's what they are, man. DNA is tainted. But the Most High, that was their blessing. He said Esau will live by the sword. Will live by the sword, man. But let's read that again real quick. So from the top. This is book of Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. How many peace treaties have they broken with the natives, so-called Native Americans? All they know is war. That's all the white man knows, man. It's war. That's it. That's all they know is war. They love to go to war. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah. Crucial. They man, talk so sweet, act like they so innocent, and then wow, it's a done deal. It's a wrap. And it took your soul, man. It's what they do. It's like was it the dude I brought him up before, the John Newton. He's the one that sang he wrote the song Amazing Grace, who, what I'm saying, like that was like one a prevalent song in the Christian church. What I'm saying, the black Christian church, man. They singing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. What I'm saying, had us singing it as kids and stuff like that. Here it is, the same white man that wrote this shit, right? Used to, he was a slave. He worked on the slave ships, man. What I'm saying? He used to trade slaves and everything like that, man. Oh, he said, he had his way with the young black girls, man. And now it is, he turned into a Christian. He turned into a Christian. Now, he got y'all little black girls singing this song, man. Wow. To this day, they still sing this song, man. John Newton wrote Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound. Crazy. Word smoother than butter. like damn, it ain't even funny. I mean, because I love my back then, because we are selfish people. You even had Steve Harvey say, "Oh, slavery was a long time ago." All right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how our people are, man. Selfish, stiff-necked. I still love my kin, man. That's my people, man. That happened to my people, my ancestors, man. You know what I'm saying? These little girls, man, little boys, man, had to go through that shit, man. We talking about, oh, that was a long time ago. Tripping, man. Any other nation wouldn't forget, man, what happened to their people like that, man. But only Black, Latino, and natives, man, cannot come together, man. Solidarity, you know what I'm saying, and build as a nation, as a people, as the lost tribes of the house of Israel, man, because we feel we are a base people. We feel we're not God's chosen people. Because why? So-called white man told us such. Told us we are nothing. We can't be Israel. At the end of that. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. You know what I'm saying? Because like it says, war was in his heart, because that's all they think of is war, right? See what the Bible says about that, right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and verse 18. And it reads, wisdom is better than weapons of war. That's what it says right here in the Bible, man. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. What wisdom? The Most High's wisdom. It's right here, these words that are right here in this book right here. That's better than war, man. You know what I'm saying? But one sinner destroyeth much good. That's all they do is destroy when it comes to war, man. That's all they do is destroy. That's all the white man wants to do is destroy. That's all he knows is to destroy. But it says wisdom is better than war of weapons. That's what it says, man. Like it states in Second Chronicles. No. Second Corinthians. Hold up. Corinthians. Because it says, war is not, we need wisdom, man. We need this wisdom because we don't, war isn't going to get us anywhere, man. Like I said earlier, vengeance is of the Most High. This is how we defeat the white man, is with these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is what he doesn't want us to do. He does not want us to stop eating pork. He don't want us to stop eating shrimp. He don't want to stop being whoremongers. This is what he wants us to do. He wants us to defile our spirits. That's why he taught the Christian church to teach you to say the laws are done away with. The Catholic church to teach you that the laws are done away with. This is what he done. This is the real weapon against the white man. These scriptures right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it says 2 Corinthians 10. That's what it is. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You know what I'm saying? That's what it says right here, man. but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. You know what I'm saying? That stronghold, that pork got a stronghold on you. That shrimp got a stronghold on you. Whoremongering, whores, whoring, all that stuff got a stronghold. Drugs got a stronghold on you. And how do you defeat that stuff, man? Through the law, statutes, and commandments. The Christian church said that the law, statutes, commandments are done away with. That's why they told you that. You taking off of God's armor, man. The weapons of this world is not carnal, man. You know what I'm saying? So this war is not carnal. We are in war spiritually. Spiritual warfare, man. As it states in Ephesians 12:6, I believe. Or it could be 6:12. Well, but that's the wisdom that we need, man. We need God's wisdom, man, to battle this war. Because this is what, man, I'm telling you, the Lord, the Most High, He wants you to learn these scriptures, man. He wants you to come into the ISPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man, so you can build yourself spiritually with these scriptures, man. That's what you want. That's what He wants you to do. Why? Because He knows the white man don't want you to do it. We can't go up against this army, you know what I'm saying? We got to do it with these words, man. We can't do it physically. We can't do it with warfare with swords and stuff like that, guns or what have you. We got to do it like this. This is what they don't want. Let's go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. This book of Isaiah, chapter 2, verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Now, these mountains represent what? Israel, mighty power, stuff like that. It means Zion, the mountains of Zion, But it represents power, represents strength, and it also represents Israel or what have you. What I'm saying? These mountains, right? And all nations shall flow unto it. And don't get it twisted, because it says in verse 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. These other nations, they're going to be, Look, these other nations, they're going to be serving us, man. But this is talking about Israel, man. This is talking about Israel. These other nations, it ain't going to be no kumbaya, all hands, all one big melting pot. That's not what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come because they're going to want to come work for us. Because if not, off with the head, man. Because remember, in Matthew 10:34, Christ is coming with the sword. Come to set everybody straight, man. They would read this, Christians read this, whatever, and say, see, all nations going to come together. They're going to come to, what I'm saying? Nah. How we know that? Go to Isaiah 60, man. Because you're going to think, because it says all people, all nation, whatever. Hold on, what did it say? And all nations, all nations shall flow unto it. It was like, see, all nations gonna flow unto it. Nah, you better watch yourself here. What did it say? Isaiah 60:12. For the nation and kingdom
that will not serve thee shall perish. Serve who? Serve Israel. Yea, those nations shall utterly be wasted. That's what it says. Go ahead and read. Go, you know, if you don't believe me, just read the whole thing. Read whole chapter 60. And Christ reiterated it in Luke chapter 4. It was, I believe it was word for word, damn near. But they cut it off in the New Testament. You know, they cut it off because you know, it goes in on these other nations. You know, verse 3, like I said, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law. Yeah, that law is here to stay, man. It's not done away with, as the Christian and the Catholic Church says, you know. And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. You know, it's the house of Jacob, man, house of Israel. We are going to be saved, man. Salvation is for the Jews, for Israel, not for these other nations, man. They got to be saved from. Really, they living it up. They walk back and forth, you know what I'm saying, walking past us when we out there raising up our people, man, laughing and stuff like that. That's where these other nations are. They comfortable. We're a joke out there to them. They so smart and stuff like that. They can't comprehend. They can't hear what we said. Raising up our people, trying to get them out of the gutters, man. Stop doing you know, all manner of drugs and stuff like that. They want to laugh at that. They act like they don't know what we're talking about, huh? It's why? It's because they know the truth, man. The spirit bears rule. You know what I'm saying? They know that we, you know, they don't want us to wake up our people, man. They know who we are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, but like I said, man, we got to wake up, Israel. You know, we got to come back to these law, statutes, and commandments, man. Because it is high time. You know, we allowing these you know, these churches, man, these false pastors, you know, we're allowing them to hinder us, man, from this truth, from this word, man. We got to rise up, man, as a people. We got to stop fighting against each other, man. We got to come back to this understanding, man, the understanding of this word, man, of these scriptures, man. It's for us. This is our history book. No other people. You know? But with that, you know what I'm saying? I want to say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barak thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Allah thumb by Shem Yahweh to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.